finally put it back together. Their league-leading defense sacked St. Louis quarterback Neil Lomax 7 times. And they shut out the Cardinals. Meanwhile, Wilbert Montgomery, the NFL's 4th leading rusher, had a big day. He ran for 108 yards as Philadelphia rolled 38-0. But the drama last weekend was 90 miles north on the New Jersey Turnpike up in the Meadowlands. The New York Giants, needing a victory to have any shot at the playoffs, took Dallas into overtime. Joe Danilo had a chance to win it from 33 yards out and hit the upright. Moments later, another chance, and here's how we called it.
It's 10-10. We're at 8:47 left in overtime. Danilo pops this one. That one is good.
The Giants and the Eagles today in the National Football Conference wild card game.
The National Football League. Today, the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's been raining throughout the day in Philadelphia, but the enthusiasm of the sellout crowd at Veterans Stadium has not been dampened in any way as the Giants and the Eagles meet. Good afternoon. I hope you had a good Christmas on Pat Summerall. It's been a long time since the Giants have been in the postseason tournament, back in 1963, as a matter of fact, when they lost at Wrigley Field to the Chicago Bears in the NFL championship game. For the Eagles under Dick Vermeil, it's sort of old hat. 4 straight years they've been here. So we'll just have to see who has the most enthusiasm today. Certainly the crowd does. This is the Super Bowl winning coach of number 11, John Madden, when he was in command of the Oakland Raiders. The playoffs certainly no strange experience to him. What kind of game do you see, John?
I think, as you say, there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm out there. These are 2 very fine defensive teams. The Eagles are 1st in the league. The Giants are 3rd. You know, sometimes in playoff, offenses tend to get a little conservative. And I think the offense that doesn't get conservative, the offense that opens up and tries to make something happen, will be the team that wins this game, Pat. So let's take a look.
And we'll look at first the Eagles' Tony Franklin with a shoe on, which is a rather rare sight, as Franklin will kick off for Philadelphia, and of course the Giants will have the football first. Half of the New York dream died a little bit earlier today as the Jets went down to Buffalo at Shea Stadium by the score of 31-27. Leon Bright back deep for the Giants, and Tony Franklin with a shoe on, John, about to kick off.
Yeah, he injured that right foot last week and his right groin on a frozen field.
And so he's got that shoe on for better traction. This one he pops up just a bit. Goes down in the direction of Beasley Reese, and he comes out with it. Beasley swings outside the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Knocked down by Greg Brown. Let's check the Giants offensive backs and receivers. Scott Brunner will be the quarterback. Rob Carpenter has had such a great year. Leon Perry back there with him. Ernest Gray and Danny Pittman will start at wide receiver. The offensive line, Gary Shirk at tight end. Weston, Ard, Jim Black, J.T. Turner, and Gordon King. We'll check the Eagle defense in just a minute. First down. 2 tight ends. 1st and 10 from the 33 for the Giants. First play is almost bobbled by Carpenter. He might have gotten 2 yards. He was lucky to hang on to the football. The Eagle defense, they play a 3-man front. And there are the 3. Dennis Harrison, Charlie Johnson over the center, and Carl Hairston, the other defensive end. The linebackers, Bunting, Chesley, Lamaster, and Jerry Robinson back now. Roynell Young also back. Edwards, Logan, and Bernard Wilson, the secondary, and they are good. Second down, 7. Ernest Gray and Danny Pittman, the wide receivers, both split wide to the left. Brunner standing in the pocket, throwing. Intended for Gary Shirk, incomplete. John Bunting, the defender closest to him. The book on Brunner, not very impressive, but that doesn't really matter. His record as a starter is 4-1. 4 wins, 1 loss.
And that's impressive. And that's ultimately and eventually, that's what counts.
3rd down on 7 at the 36 for the Giants, and they operate now from the shotgun as John Missler is in the contest. Leon Bright also in. Jim Black is the center. A good snap for Bruner, who rolls out of the pocket and will continue to roll. Fakes downfield, has not got the first down out of bounds. Jerry Robinson took him out. And many accidents like that, and we might see Phil Simms.
That's the one situation that I'm sure the Giants want to stay out of, that 3rd and long, because that's when the Eagles bring in that pass rush. We just saw Claude Humphrey and his friends.
And Dave Jennings will go back to kick for the Giants. Wally Henry, a lone and single lonely safety man standing all the way back at the Eagle 15. Jennings, one of the best. That's not one of his best. Henry comes up to handle. He's fumbled, and the Giants get the football. Lawrence Taylor comes right back downfield, and the Giants have it. Henry, with a mistake in judgment, should have signaled for a fair catch.
You know, again, this is very close here. He didn't signal for a fair catch, but the first player that interfered with him was his own man. The next player right there was Lawrence Taylor.
And Lawrence Taylor, who has had such an outstanding year in every facet of this game, continues.
Did you see he came down there and he came under control and waited for Henry to drop the ball?
And so the Giants have a first down at the Eagle 25. In motion is Pittman. The ball carrier's Carpenter. Carpenter rambles down to about the 20. Frank LeMaster made the tackle, but the Giants are in good shape all of a sudden.
We can see already what the Giants' plan is on first down to use 2 tight ends. Seems like everyone in the league is doing that now against that 3-man line because that spreads the linebackers out.
And it keeps some of those people at home that might be running down plays from the backside. Second down 6 at the 21. Ernest Gray and Pittman, the wide receivers. 2 tight ends. Carpenter, the lone setback. No offside, no flag. Carpenter bangs down to about the 16. Charlie Johnson was the first man to make contact with Carpenter.
Talk about an addition to this Giant team when they were able to make a trade with the Houston Oilers and pick up this man here. Look what he's done for this team.
We were watching films yesterday. You brought up a good point about Rob Carpenter, I thought. A lot of times you see people duck their head and ram into a hole. Carpenter always seems to have his head up and looks where he's going.
His head is always up and his shoulders are always square when he goes into the line.
It's 3rd and 2 from the 17. Carpenter and Perry now. The so-called heavy backfield. And Carpenter will have the first down and more down inside the 10. Al Chesley made the stop.
You know, this is one of the things we'll see here. This 2 tight ends, you see it spreads the defense out. There's no weak side linebacker, so they can come in here, lead with the back, isolate. Rob Carpenter, we see how he had his shoulders square, his eyes up, so he can feel that thing on the backside.
Carpenter has 19 yards and 4 carries already.
I still think he's too big to be named Rob.
He should be Bob at least. First and goal from the 9 for the Giants. No score yet. Carpenter rumbles over to that side for a couple. Tripped up by Jerry Robinson, but he got down to about the 7. Well, we talked, John, a lot about playoff games and the intensity and the physical aspects. Turnovers, as you've said all year long, are still one of the great factors in any game.
I think that's the #1 statistic. You know, you have all those others, but the #1 is turnover ratio.
Second down, goal from the 7. Ernest Gray and Danny Pittman. Now Pittman swings in motion to the right. They were the wide receivers. This is Carpenter to the 4. Dennis Harrison on the bottom of that pile, along with Charlie Johnson, number 65.
Bruner was signaling over to the sideline that he wanted a substitution, and it looks like they're going to get out of the 2 or 3 tight ends, and he wants a couple wide receivers. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw one here.
He's got Missler, Pittman, Carpenter, Leon Bright, all in the game. And it does indeed. You don't see this too much either. The shotgun inside the 10.
That's what he was calling for.
That's what he got. Although I'm not sure what he's doing now. Now he takes a timeout. The Eagles are claiming he was in motion before he took that timeout. They're upset about it, but nothing is called. Vermeil looking on, and Brunner goes over to Perkins. We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Foggy and rainy. 3rd and goal for the Giants. No score yet. The ball at the 4-yard line. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 3rd time this year these two have met. They split. 24-10 Eagles, 20-10 Giants. Brunner from the shotgun. Penalty marker down. He has Missler, touchdown, but he'll wave it all off, and now he struggles. No play, I do not think. No play.
I think the Giants move, Pat.
Number 72 on the offense.
Yep, I was just going to say it was the right tackle, Gordon King. He was in his stance, and he moved before the ball was snapped. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Now watch the right tackle there. Watch him move. See, the defense started to move, and then he reacted to it. I don't know that that defensive guy wasn't in that neutral zone now. That's okay, Gordon. That's not bad. Now, that's tough to do, to have to stay in that stance when that defensive end is rushing on you.
You're coached and taught to react to movement.
Now watch 87, Claude Humphrey. He comes across. You see, he gets in that neutral zone, but the defensive guy can get back.
So it'll be 3rd down, back at the 9. Perkins in motion. We weren't sure if he's going to play or not. Wide open. Leon Bright, touchdown Giants. Good throw and a good catch, and the Giants break on top. Scott Brunner.
Scott, he's a 2nd-year guy, but I'll tell you, he sure has a lot of poise out there. And Leon Bright, the man that catches it, Ray Perkins was telling us last night, pound for pound, probably the toughest person in the league. See, he was out there as a halfback, and he just ran a swing into the end zone.
There had to be, John, some sort of mistake on the Eagle defense for him to be that wide open.
Well, it looks like the inside linebacker who was covering him got cut off.
They ran 2 of the wide receivers to the inside, and Bright got lost. No good block. I don't think it would have been any good anyway. He never got it airborne. Leon Bright, and here's the kick. He never got it up in the air, John.
He never got it up. Look, he just kicked a line drive right into his own man, it looked like.
Brunner fumbled a snap, and he kicked it while it was lying on the ground. There's Joe Danello about set to kick off for the Giants, who now lead 6-0. Wally Henry back deep for Philadelphia. And here comes Danello. The rain starts to come down a little bit harder. That'll be Billy Campfield and not Wally Henry who handles. Campfield out of one tackle outside to about the 25 and out of bounds by Frank Marion. Here again is the touchdown play.
Let's see now, Bright is going to come out of the backfield. Now once these 2 wide receivers, Perkins starts in motion, and they come in essence, they'll pick someone. See, Jerry Robinson, number 56, had to cover Leon Bright from the inside, and you see he didn't get over there until after it was all over.
Here's the extra point. Watch Brunner.
Now watch this. The snap was fumbled right here. See, he goes to put the ball down. As he went to turn it, the ball dropped in the ground.
Again, in the event you might have just joined us, it is raining now. It has been throughout most of the day. Not a heavy rain, more like a mist. The Eagles' first possession of the day, and this is Wilbert Montgomery, hit by Byron Hunt, a fine rookie linebacker who's played so well of late. The Eagles' offensive backs and receivers, Jaworski the quarter, of course. Montgomery and Hubert Oliver the runners, Harold Carmichael and Charlie Smith-White. Tight end is Keith Krepfle, Walters, Kenny, Morris, Baker, and Sizemore up front. A good unit. And the scouting report on the weather is bad. You can see the way the Eagle fans have come prepared for this one. And the mist continues to fall. Jaworski on the ear. The eye and cheese bothering him. Jaworski blitz. He fumbles. And let's see what they're calling. The Giants are saying we have it. He might have been called by the officials in the grasp of the tackler. He lost 9 yards on that sack. George Martin was the first man there.
Let's see if we can tell here. See, he comes in here now. George Martin is number 75. You see, he's coming right there. He grabs him. The official must have blown the whistle before he fumbled that ball.
He must have, but I think it was a fumble.
It sure looks like one to me. Yeah, that's not a grasp, because the minute he put his left hand on him, that ball went out of there. Whoa, they missed that one.
3rd down, 20. Back at the 16. Jaworski from the shotgun. Forward handoff to Billy Campfield, and Campfield got a little room. Beasley Reese takes him down with help from Terry Jackson. Max Runiger comes on to kick. His average in 1981 in the regular season, 40.7 yards. Deep for the Giants, Leon Bright. And has he ever taken a pounding back there during the year? He hates to fair catch it, but
he hasn't had a fair catch all year, I don't think.
I don't believe he has. Last week, he took a vicious hit from Anthony Dickerson, Champ Dickerson of the Dallas Cowboys. Runiger gets off the spiral. It does turn over, and Bright handles it. He's got some room. Leon Bright swarmed around by Billy Campfield first. 42-yard punt, a 6-yard return by Bright. The Giants will take over. 1st and 10. They lead 6-0. 7:52 left, first quarter, Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. Giants, Eagles, wild card game, NFC. Brunner, Leon Perry for a couple of yards. Al Chesley was the first man in green there. Scott Brunner, the Giant quarterback. Again, that ball is going to be and has been very slippery all day long and will continue to be. They change it as often as is needed, but it still, after a while, gets a little slippery.
Well, you know what happens? They change it, then they put it down there in the ground while they're in the huddle, and it gets wet again.
2 tight ends set up, 2nd and 8 for the Giants. Pittman swings in motion to the right. Brunner has Rob Carpenter for a first down in Eagle territory. Al Chesley again on the tackle, but the Giants look sharp indeed already.
Look at that Carpenter. He has those hip pads holding out. He has the towel going there. Now, this is what they like to do in the early downs. You see, just check him through. He fakes like he's blocking, checks through, turns square back to the quarterback, shows him his numbers, gets the ball, picks up a first down.
Just in Eagle territory, Rob Carpenter.
Come on, Big Joe.
There have been some great trades made in Giant history, but that's got to be one of the best. Here's Carpenter. Penalty marker goes down. Carpenter got about 4 off the right side. Stopped again by Chesley, but a yellow flag appeared way on the sideline. Bob Frederick is the referee. Here are the rest of them. Palazzi, Bergman, Laughlin, Swanson, Creed, Bob Workman, and the alternate Ron D'Souza.
You know, one thing, Pat, this is an all-star crew. During the regular... Oh, we have to listen to this. Excuse me.
Offense. First down.
During the regular season, they work as a crew. The same crew works all the games all year. Then in the playoffs, they pick the best at each position. And this is the first time they've worked together.
Frederick is the man in charge. 1st and 15 from the 45. Brunner. Short drop. Ernest Gray has it. Good catch by Gray with the ball being slippery and wet like it is. Gray with those gloves on.
Those are different types of gloves. I haven't seen the Giants have those types before, but I bet that they have some sticky surface in the inside. You know, they can't use stickum anymore, and we see more and more players wearing gloves all the time.
Many of them are wearing the gloves, as Ray Perkins, that scuba divers wear. And on a guess it's not such a bad idea, is it? Nope. Second down, 2 at the 42-yard line of Philadelphia. Bruner will throw again. He has Carpenter wide open. Carpenter will have the first, stays on his feet, breaking tackles. Rob Carpenter down to the 26-yard line of the Eagles. Herman Edwards finally took him down.
You know, we talked about Rob Carpenter, how he keeps his head up and his shoulders square. The other thing that he has is he has great balance. Now watch number 56 here, Jerry Robinson. You see, he has the tight end. He bounces the tight end. Now he comes off to the zone. Now watch him try and tackle Carpenter. Took him to the inside, a little move, and then boom, there he goes.
Scott Bruner now 4 out of 5 for 47 yards. We showed you his pass completion ratio earlier on the year, and it wasn't that impressive, but again, that 4-1 mark he's put together as a starter is. Here's Carpenter again, and Carpenter rambles down to about the 16 as they cut that Eagle defense apart.
I'll tell you, and the fans are starting to boo, Pat, for the first time, but watch this blocking here on that left side. They do a good job. Clack does a good job on Charlie Johnson in there, and Carpenter cuts right off at Jim Clack's block. You know, Clack was back on a ranch someplace when they had an injury and they had to bring him out. He's doing a good job.
Back in North Carolina, where he is in the sporting goods business, but he came back in good shape. There goes Pittman in motion. Bruner fakes the handoff to Carpenter. I think he just blew that one by himself. Jerry Robinson knocked him down. He bootlegged last week, you recall, for a clutch pickup and a first down against Dallas, but that one sort of backfired.
Last week he bootlegged. He didn't tell anyone, including Ray Perkins. But this one, I think he just missed the handoff there. I don't know if he was going to hand to the first back or the second back, but he didn't come close to either, so he did the smart thing.
2nd and 10 at the 15. Giants leading 6-0 already in the first quarter. 3:40 left to play, first period. There goes Carpenter in motion. Bruner looking and still looking and throwing, and he made a wise choice. Popped it out of the end zone so nobody could come down with it.
He was trying to hit Leon Bright earlier about the 5-yard line. Leon Bright was covered, so Scott Bruner did the intelligent thing. He just, boom, just throw it out of the back of the end zone.
Mistler, Gray, and Perkins all enter the fray. As Ray Perkins, the other Perkins, the man who's in command, looks on from the sideline. It'll be 3rd down, 10 from the 15. Bruner now pops back into the shotgun. Perkins goes in motion to the right. Here come the Eagles. And there goes Bruner. He'll have a first down. Ray Ellis made the tackle, but Bruner got down to the 4. It'll be 1st and goal from there.
You know, you always talk about pass rush. You always talk about staying in your lanes. Someone has to get in front of the quarterback. You see that? There was no one in front of Scott Bruner, and he could see his way clear all the way to the first down. The Eagles got out of their pass rush lane.
One of the many attributes that Scott Bruner has, as Ray Perkins was telling us last night, is that he is very intelligent. And you could see then how very aware he was of where the first down marker was and how much he needed.
He's cool, too, for a second-year guy, isn't it?
Isn't he? 3 tight ends now, and Carpenter gets the carry, and Carpenter is wrapped up for a loss by Charlie Johnson back of the line of scrimmage at about the 6-yard line.
Charlie Johnson saying we had enough of that. Ray Perkins is saying let's get Charlie Johnson blocked. Charlie Johnson, probably against the run, number 65 right there, is probably the best nose tackle in the National Football League.
He's got the perfect build for a nose tackle. 6 feet, 265 or thereabouts.
That's right, and it's tough to get under that body, you know, because he has to get underneath that center, and his stance, he's built to do it. He's born that way.
I don't know if I'd want to be born to be a nose tackle or not.
Yeah, they are.
2nd down and goal from the 6. Bruner drops and looks. And tries to throw, can't get away, and finally goes down at the 10 in the grasp of John Bunting, the linebacker, who blitzed.
Bunting stayed with that one. He came in a blitz from the left side, and he was down, and he just kept scrapping, stayed with that sack.
And the Giants again come in with the wide receiver contingent, and the Eagles go in with their prevent defense, which includes Johnson coming out and Clark going in. Missler, Perkins, Ernest Gray all in the game. Time remaining first quarter at the bottom of your picture, a minute 20. Giants leading 6-0. Third and goal from the 10. Perkins goes in motion. Bruner looking and throwing and has Missler. Touchdown. A strike to John Missler, and the Giants move out to a 12-0 lead.
That was the same pattern that they ran for the last touchdown that they threw to Leon Bright. This one, they threw it to Missler. Roynell Young, who's been out for a month, is on a man-to-man. We'll see it right here to the left of our screen. Coming in there, you see he runs a post pattern. Geez, he makes a great catch, but he had Roynell Young beaten by about 2 steps.
The rookie, John Missler. And Scott Bruner, the second-year man, fired the shot that put the Giants up, and now it's 13-0 as Danilo out of the hold of Bruner makes it good. Let's look at that touchdown one more time.
I'll tell you, we were talking about Scott Bruner. You know, he's 6'5", and he can really see. He finds Missler on that one.
1:06 left first quarter. Giants 13, Eagles nothing. One reception for John Missler. Okay, Mom. The coach likes you too.
He's saying a whole bunch. He had more than Mom. He had a few other guys in there.
Got a lot of friends. Wally Henry will field it at the 2. Drops it. Finally picks it up. He's still on the ground, and look out. Could be touchdown Giants.
Yep,
it is.
It is.
Touchdown Giants. Flowers, Dennis. Oh, these Eagle fans are really upset. Mark Haynes is the man who scored the touchdown, and the Giants are now up 19-0.
Watch this. He had it just as he was going to catch it. Now he slips as he goes to recover it, picks it up, and he's hit right there by Dennis, and Mike Haynes is there. He recovers it. Mark Haynes before he gets out of bounds. Whoa.
Mike Dennis made the hit. Mark Haynes scored the touchdown, and here we go. It may have been bad news early in the day in the Big Apple, but the news is better now. It is 20-0. 54 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Giants lead 20-0, and listen to the crowd.
He did a good job, Mark Haynes, of not letting that ball get out of the end zone. Looks like there's some Giant fans here, Pat. There was some rooting.
If they're not here, they're going to be converted very quickly. It's 20-0. Let's look at the touchdown once more.
Watch this. He bobbles it here. How many bad things can happen? Then he slips. Then he goes to pick it up. Then he gets hit. And there's Mark Haynes. Now, this is a nice job of not letting that ball get out of bounds.
And a long day already for Wally Henry, and the first quarter's not over yet. There are those Giant fans. Proud of those colors at the moment. Now they're my Giants.
Your Giants. That guy just put on that hat. You know, he didn't have that hat when the score was 0-0. He had it in his back pocket.
Wally Henry again standing back in the end zone. What else bad could happen to him? Danilo will kick off. It is 20-0. The Giants leading, and we're still in the first quarter. That is Booker Russell who fielded the kickoff. Penalty marker down.
I'll tell you, the Eagles have really been penalized. You know, they're the third team. They have the third most penalties in the league this year, and that's been one of the big differences.
Bob Frederick. And bad things continue to happen. Larry Flowers is the injured Giant, you can see, against the background of that blue jacket of one of the medical assistants
Illegal block.
that it's still raining.
In the back, number 55 on the kick return team. First down.
Lynn Stiles is over talking to Booker Russell and Wally Henry. And here is Larry Flowers coming off and seems to be okay.
Larry Flowers may have been the one that was hit in the back. You see, looks like he's holding his back right where he was hit in the back above the waist from behind.
Chuck Bednarik, nearest to you in the coach's uniform. There's Dick Vermeil. 20-0. The Giants lead. 20-0.
Sound like you have a hard time believing that.
I do. Here is Wilbert Montgomery to the outside. Haynes right up the middle and no gain.
I tell you, the Eagles really haven't gotten started yet, but look at that. The Giants 104 yards of offense. The Philadelphia Eagles have 1 yard. Whoop. What a terrible way to start something, huh?
Speaking of domination, Ron Jaworski, who has taken his share of criticism in recent weeks here in Philadelphia. And today it hasn't been his fault. It's just been field position, as Ray Perkins said, and turnovers, as Ray Perkins said. And we might break on top, as Ray Perkins said. End of the first quarter.
I bet the Eagles are glad to have that one over with.
Wow. The Giants have spent a lot of time in that end zone down there already. At the end of one, it's the Giants 20 and the Philadelphia Eagles nothing.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the 1982 Ford cars and trucks. And by Natural Light, the beer with a taste for food.
We're ready to start quarter number 2 at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, with the Giants leading the Eagles 20-0. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Along with most of you, we're at a state of shock too, I'm sure. Jaworski looks for someplace to go, finally finds Harold Carmichael. He was up very nearly gone. The ball is down. Beasley Reese hit him. Ball came loose, 28-yard pickup.
I'll tell you what, that was a great play fake. They started from the I formation. We see Carmichael there. He gets by the first guy. It's a zone defense and catches the ball between the bump and the safety Beasley Reese. Here comes Lawrence Taylor on a blitz now. It looks like he's not blocked. He goes right past Jaworski. Jaworski plays him off, finds Carmichael, and whap.
That's the first down for Philadelphia. They trail 20-0. Quickly in motion. Montgomery rolls to the right, slips down, can't get up. Giant defense swarms on him quickly. Beasley Reese, Bill Neal, Bill Courier, all there quickly.
Now there is a running back. There is a tough man. I was talking to him yesterday, Pat, and he said that running backs don't get intimidated by good defenses. He said, but sometimes you get frustrated, and that's the thing that you have to watch out for, that when nothing goes, that you start to get frustrated.
Rain continues to pelt down, and you saw Montgomery slip just a minute ago. That's certainly why Hubert Oliver is the lone setback this time. Montgomery is flanked out to the left. Jaworski on second down, drops the football, gets back on top of it. The Eagles still have it, but the boos start to echo around Veterans Stadium.
There's a guy that has this whistle that boos. He has a funny cowboy hat on and his whistle.
That's B-O-O-Z-E. First quarter, so the Eagles had no first downs, the Giants 5.
I still say the big one is that green one. There were turnovers, the Giants had none. The Eagles had 2 very, very big ones.
Wally Henry fumbled a kickoff. The Giants scored after that. Wally Henry fumbled a punt. And the Giants scored after that. From the shotgun. Jaworski fires. Oh, it should have been picked off and could have been picked off by Terry Jackson. Oh, wow.
As we see Ron Jaworski there, he looks like he can't believe it either, but this could have... One defender runs by and it looks like it hits Jackson right in the shoulder pads and bounces back. Watch this. Oh, he had it right there. Terry Jackson, and that's why you want to catch all footballs out in front of you. You don't want them to get into your shoulder pads.
It could have been 27-0 very easily. Max Runniger will kick for his back for Philadelphia. Somebody made contact. The Eagles are pointing at the Giants, and the Giants are pointing at the Eagles.
You think the officials pay any attention to the pointing?
No.
I used to always have my guys point. It's usually against the offense, though, because the rule is once they get in a stance, they can't move.
And indeed, you're right, John. Not much to cheer about if you're wearing green and white today. At least not so far. Leon Bright standing back deep for the Giants, and Runniger will start from his own 11-yard line. He was kicking very well in workouts yesterday, but the ball was dry then. It's a good kickoff. Right at the 30. Leon Bright straight ahead, gets out to the 42-yard line, where the Giants will take over. A 43-yard punt by Runniger, a 12-yard return by Leon Bright. It is 20-0 Giants, and we're in the second quarter. If you just looked at that and didn't know what the score was, you'd have a pretty good idea, wouldn't you?
That and the turnovers, those are the two biggest ones.
Giants first and 10. Here is Rob Carpenter. Charlie Johnson wraps him up after a couple. A little help on that side from Carl Hairston, who always seems to be around.
I tell you, I was talking about Charlie Johnson probably being the best nose tackle in the league against the run, and the guy that plays out there in that right side, Carl Hairston, may be the best defensive end against the run in the National Football League.
There he is. That's the left side of the Eagle defense that you're looking at there. It is second down, Giants. Bruner spins away from one man, fires, intended for Danny Pittman, incomplete.
They don't believe it. They're saying, I don't believe that. John Bunting, number 95 there, came on a blitz, and he ran right by Bruner. Or Bruner dodged him a little. Bunting's saying, holy moly, what do you have to do to get that guy?
There's John Bunting, a 10-year veteran out of North Carolina. Bruner is 5 out of 8 for 57 yards and 2 touchdowns. One to Missler, one to Bright. Missler and Perkins now both in the game, and Perkins is the man in motion. They blitz Bruner. They pick it up. It's complete to Perkins. It's a first down. Giants in Eagle territory at their 44. Roynell Young, the defender.
Here we see Johnny Perkins there, and we'll see him isolated. Here, you know, he was injured last week. He hurt his knee and his ankle. He didn't practice all week, and this is the first time that he's played, but he looks like he's moving well. He knew where that first down was.
That playoff fever is great medicine.
That kind of gets you excited. Gets the old blood pumping through those bones.
First and 10, Giants at the Eagle 44. Giants lead 20-0. Leon Perry straight ahead to the 40, maybe the 39, stopped by Al Chesley.
Now that's another way. Remember, Leon Perry was injured last week too. We had a report once that he had broken a fibula. Came back and played the second half, and he looks fine today. Ray Perkins likes those two big backs in the same backfield, Leon Perry and Rob Carpenter.
Matter of fact, there were 3 players we thought were out for a long time: Perkins, Perry, and Bright, and they're all playing today. Here's Carpenter. He shuffles over the right side for maybe 2 yards. John Bunting was the first man to hit him. Dick Vermeil who was, again, as always, very gracious with us yesterday and providing films for us to look at and information of whatever we asked.
He sure does. There was John Bunting playing off that tight end, and he just got off that tight end when Carpenter arrived.
It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Giants at the Eagle 38. New York so far, Giants 5 out of 6 in 3rd down situations so far today. Now it's Misler in motion. Brunner gets it outside Carpenter. Carpenter may be a little bit shy. Knocked out of bounds by Richard Blackmore, but he'll be near a first down.
This will be an interesting situation here, Pat. First, how they spot it, whether it's a first down or not, but I doubt that it is. And if it's 4th down, Ray Perkins right there has a decision. You're ahead 20-0. Do you go for the first down, or do you punt the ball, or kick a 52-yard field goal? He's going for it.
Right. He puts in Young and his big backs. Leon Perry and Carpenter will be the 2 set men behind Brunner. Brunner's 6'5", and don't forget, if he can just lie down for a quarterback sneak, that would be plenty enough. 3 tight ends in the game for the Giants. 4th, the half-yard. Brunner stumbles over the left side. He may have it, he may not. It's going to be close.
He did just lie down, but again, now watch those officials now. Left foot, it won't be a first down. Right foot, it'll be. Let's see where they put that ball down.
Bob Frederick is going to say hold it a second. And let's see if he decides right foot or left foot, John.
Well, I think it's already down there. It looked like a right foot job. See, that guy had his right foot there. Ball was out in front of it. I'll say it's a first down.
If it's a right foot,
it is.
I think you're right. It is not.
Oh, it wasn't even close.
And the Eagle defense rises to the occasion.
Now watch this. It's a quarterback sneak. He goes there. Now they have to spot where the ball is. How they decide where it is, I have no idea.
Robinson made the tackle on Brunner. Ray Perkins just took a gamble, but John Madden, it really wasn't a bad gamble, was it?
I think it was a great gamble. 35-yard line. You have a 52-yard field goal. It's probably too long. If you punt, they probably get the ball in the 20. That's the time. That was a great call.
Even though they didn't make it, still a good call. 1st and 10. 35 for Philadelphia. They haven't been able to do anything. Here's Jaworski. Pressure's on. Carmichael has it. Bounce out of his hands. Terry Jackson right with him. And here comes that giant blitz. And can they do it?
I'll tell you, that Lawrence Taylor, when he comes from that right side, he always looks like he's shot out of a gun. Let's see if we can see him here. He really takes off. He doesn't waste a lot of time. He's being blocked now by an offensive lineman. See, Stan Walters, the left tackle, stepped out on him, knocked his helmet right off his head, and Lawrence Taylor didn't know which way he was going.
Amazing thing about Taylor, Dick Vermeil was saying yesterday he always has his feet clean, meaning that nobody really gets around his ankles very much. Nobody ever gets close to his body either. He keeps those arms in good shape. Jaworski is way high. That one took off. Intended for Montgomery. 1 out of 4 is Jaworski for 28 yards.
Jaworski looks early here. He looks a little frustrated, doesn't he? Did you see those eyes? He just kind of looked up like, oh, I got to get something going here.
He looked that way yesterday in practice.
Yeah, he's been having a bad month.
3rd down, 10 from the 35. Billy Canfield and Ron Smith. Smith has had some hamstring problems, but he is split wide to the left. Canfield is back there. And Jaworski likes him in this situation. Jaworski, Taylor on a blitz. Jaworski stays on his feet, still on his feet. Penalty marker down. Jaworski scrambles. Out the right side, hit by Byron Hunt and knocked out of bounds by Hunt. Penalty marker would indicate against the Eagles holding.
Look at Terry Jackson. You see him pointing there. They dropped the coverage on this side, Pat. And it could have been, they had someone open out here. I think it was Ron Smith. And Terry Jackson was telling those people who was supposed to help me out there. I think that penalty's against the Giants.
Offensive holding, number 73, refused. Fourth down.
I think that penalty is against the Eagles.
It is.
I think that's Steve Kenny holding Gary Jeter. Watch on the right side of the picture, right there. You see, he got beyond him, and he got his hand in there in his jersey.
Lawrence Taylor on a blitz. He can do it.
He's been having trouble there. You know, they get in there, and that's the second time that Lawrence Taylor has missed Ron Jaworski on a blitz.
Leon Bright back deep for the Giants, and Max Runiger will kick for the Eagles. 20-0. The Giants lead. Runiger just stands a long time and finally roots it. Eagles down in good coverage. The ball goes out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Nobody rushed. Then Runiger just stood.
And you usually rush two people just to make the kicker kick the ball.
36-yard punt. Obviously no return by the Giants. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, where the Giants lead the Eagles 20-0. Two tight ends in this offensive setup. The give is to Carpenter, and he is hit immediately by Charlie Johnson. And our friend Jim Black is having a tough time right now.
I think so. Charlie Johnson is tough enough in there as a nose tackle, but when he takes a side, he's almost impossible. And it looked like the Giants were trying to double team him. See, now, when it becomes a second and long situation and he comes off the field, he's used basically on the run.
Ken Clark comes in to take his place. Lawrence Taylor over on the sideline. I don't think he's hurt, except he does have an ice pack on his left knee. Or maybe he is. I don't think it's serious. Here's the draw play, Carpenter. Carl Hairston made the stop this time. You know, John, you're talking about Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle for Philadelphia. Most of the time, Clark comes in on passing situation. You said he took a side. What do you mean by that?
Well, usually the nose tackle, Pat, will play right into the center. And then sometimes, instead of playing into the center, they just go right or left. The center has his head down and his hand on the ball, and he has a tough time reacting to that.
It'll be 3rd and 6 from the 28. And again, the Giants will operate from the shotgun. Perkins in motion. Eagle blitz. Brunner throws high, intended for Bright. Covered by Bernard Wilson. And incomplete, and Jennings will come on for the second time. Remember, the first time he punted wasn't one of his best efforts, but it turned out to be a dandy as Wally Henry couldn't handle it. And now, instead of Henry, it's John Shira in receiving position for Philadelphia. There's John.
Talking about guys that had a bad few weeks. Remember those 2 or 3 weeks that John Shira had there? Whew. And he's a real competitor, though.
We'd be out early and stay late. Here's Jennings, a good kick. Shira will handle at the 22. Slips momentarily, breaks away from one, gets out to about the 30. A 50-yard kick by Jennings, an 8-yard return by John Shira. We have 7.5 minutes left in the first half, and the Giants lead the Eagles by the score of 20-0. 1st and 10, Eagles at their own 30. 2 tight ends for the Philadelphia contingent. 1 setback. Setback is a good one. Wilbert Montgomery around the left side for about 9. Not quite enough for a first, but good yardage nevertheless as Harry Carson came out to make the stop.
You know who pulled out there? Stan Walters, a left tackle, pulled out and led on that play. Let's see if we can see it. Prefley is blocking here, number 84. He hooks Lawrence Taylor. Number 75, Stan Walters, pulls out. You see, and he leads Montgomery right there until he gets to Beasley Reese right now. Not bad for old Stan. You know, he's been in the league about 10 years, and he's still pulling.
Stan's another one of those guys who wears a jersey about 3 sizes too small, so nobody can grab anything. It was a first down for the Eagles. At the 40, Montgomery got it. Here comes Taylor on a blitz, and Taylor has him. And Gary Jeter was there to help.
You know, we were just talking about Stan Walters. He was blocking on Lawrence Taylor. You know, they started out blocking running backs on Taylor. Now watch Taylor here. Now watch Stan Walters, 75, comes to the outside. Taylor takes him on with his helmet, pushes him to the side, and right in on Jaworski. Doesn't have a chance. I like linebackers, pass rushes, and blitzes and things.
You gotta like him.
Oh, boy.
That is Steve Kenny, who's down, the Eagles' offensive left guard, and being looked at. That's the second sack by the Giants for a total loss of 16 yards. Steve Kenny is number 73, the injured Eagle. And we can show you just in a second how it happened.
We're seeing more and more of this where players are injured by their own man. Now watch Kenny on the left-hand side. He's blocking number 70, Jeter. Now watch right there. See Stan Walters, after he missed Taylor, came into Steve Kenny's leg. Ooh.
And Kenny, based on that picture, I think we will not see again today. Second-year man out of Clemson. His place taken by number 62, Petey Perreault. And Kenny had just flat beat him out.
You know, when I got here at 12 o'clock today, Kenny was the only player in the training room, and he was having his knee rubbed at that time. He may have had a bad knee before this.
Second down, 17 from the 33. See the time remaining, and again there's a bobble. As the Eagles can't clean up things.
The Eagles right now are a show of frustration. Watch it. That ball must be slick. It's about the 4th time that has been in an exchange here. Now watch this. See, the ball gets up and it pops right out of Jaworski's hand, and darn near it does get stepped on by Guy Morris. Jaworski's down there in his hands and knees trying to find it, and he does.
Billy Camfield in the Eagle offensive alignment now on 3rd down, 19 from the 31. Jaworski handles it, but had some difficulty. Throws outside Charlie Smith. Smith looking for someplace to go and finds no room. Bill Courier and Brian Kelly both out there with him.
I'll tell you, this Giant defense has really come along. We know that they play the run well. Lawrence Taylor blitzes, but like on that 3rd and long, you know, they play the zones. They let them catch that short one, and boom, react, and they all tackle.
And the secondary really has been the part of that defense that's solidified itself in the last few weeks. Max Runiger, number 4, with his back to you, will kick for the Eagles. Leon Bright. We'll have to let this one bounce. It takes off. Bright will handle it on the 3rd hop. And Bright gets it back to the 20. The Eagles, Joe Heath, who always seems to excel on special teams, the first man down. 45-yard kick by Runiger. Next week, CBS Sports will bring the NFC divisional playoffs. The NFL today begins it. That's on Saturday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers visit Texas Stadium to take on Dallas. And then on Sunday, we'll be in San Francisco. John Madden gets a chance to go home.
That'll be nice, and see those amazing 49ers. What a great year they've had.
Haven't they, though, against either the Eagles or the Giants? If they stopped it right now, it'd be the Giants. Here's Carpenter, and he loses it. He got it back. The Giants have it. There's Kenny heading into the locker room. Knee problems. And they appear to be severe. Here's the last fumble by Carpenter.
See, it's a little counter. You see, he steps to the right. Then that allows his guard to pull. But as he was shifting the ball, it dropped and hit his left knee and bounced out in front of him.
That was Jerry Robinson, the Eagle, who came close to recovering for Philadelphia.
He's already had it.
2nd and 14 from the 16. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Shirk on the right, Young on the left. Here's Brunner. Picked off off by the Eagles. Herman Edwards, who has haunted the Giants for years, and the Eagles have it in good shape. He was trying to throw to Mike Freedy, but Herman Edwards, who recovered that famous fumble up at the Meadowlands a few years ago.
You remember that one, don't you? Now watch, he's back off. He gets a great jump on the ball. He was back off. He was watching the quarterback, not the end. He saw the ball and boom, took off to the inside of Freedy. Turnovers kill you or help you.
And in this case, they might get you back in the game if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan. There's Herman Edwards over on the sideline. First down, Philadelphia at the Giant 26. The Giants leading 20-0. Here's Montgomery. Cutting back and spinning to the inside to about the 19. Harry Carson finally brought him down.
Look at these fans. They love it, don't they? Playoff time in the National Football League is the greatest. You know, everyone's involved. They know it's today. It has to be done.
A new season, and that's what it's about. You don't ever want to be home for Christmas in the NFL, do you?
Nope, that's probably the only people that don't want to be home for the holidays.
Second down, 4 from the 20. Montgomery got 6 on first. No score yet. Montgomery again. And he'll have an Eagle first down at the 15. Harry Carson again, the tackler of the Eagles. Getting closer and closer to the W column, or the S column.
Boy, success breeds excitement, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does.
These people were sitting on their hands here a second ago. Herman Edwards gets an interception, and everyone comes to life.
Clock running in the first half. The Giants leading 20-0. But the Eagles trying to put something on the board. Montgomery, 6 carries, 18 yards. If it were me, he'd have the ball every play. Jaworski looking, throwing, Carmichael. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Between Courier and Reese, Harold Carmichael, a clutch catch.
That may be the one that Carmichael needed. That may be the one that Jaworski needed. That's the one the fans needed. The one Runniger needed.
And John, as we've said so many times and seen so many times over the course of this year and every year, don't forget that extra point that the Giants missed.
It always comes back to haunt you, doesn't it?
Tony Franklin, one shoe off and one shoe on now. Shire will hold. The extra point good. 20-7. Touchdown play again.
Now watch this. It starts with a play pass. He's going to fake to Hubert Oliver's his fullback. So he brings him in there to hold the linebackers. Looks up and finds that big 6'8" target, Harold Carmichael, running a slant.
In between Courier and Reese, but the pickup job done on Carson up front is very important.
That's Harry Carson right in the middle, and we see Petey Perreault picked him up so that Ron Jaworski could step forward. It was a zone defense, and they split between the strong safety and the weak safety. Big Harold right there.
Touchdown set up by the interception by Herman Edwards. And it was a 15-yard strike from Jaworski to Big Harold Carmichael. Tony Franklin added the extra point. It's 20-7. Way back deep for the Giants, standing in the end zone, Leon Bright. This started off as a day game. Now it's a night game. Weak kick by Franklin. That's Beasley Reese. Reese breaks to the outside and gets out for a good yardage. Good return out to about the 37. Bernard Wilson knocked him down. 27-yard return by Beasley Reese.
Little pushing and pulling out there.
Unfriendly neighbors.
You can't afford a penalty in those situations, though. That's one thing that, you know, bothers all coaches. It's nice to be fired up. It's nice to be aggressive, but doggone it, you don't want penalties.
Right? Don't forget, right coming up at the half, Brent Musburger will have Terry Bradshaw with him.
Two pretty good ones.
Yeah, they get you in the playoffs. Brunner on first down to Carpenter. Nothing doing, maybe a yard, and the Eagles are going to call a timeout. Jerry Robinson, the first man there.
You know, the Eagles called a timeout, Pat, but the clock ran off 3 more seconds. It was 2:07 when they called timeout. It's 2:04 now.
Why would they call a timeout with the 2-minute warning coming right up?
Well, because they wanted that timeout, then they know that they'll get the 2-minute timeout, you see, and then they'll get the ball back and still have another timeout.
They'll have 2 more left after that, right?
Yeah, right, when they get the ball back.
So in a case like this, really, they had 4 timeouts.
With the 2-minute warning, and what they're thinking, you see, is that they have a little of that momentum going now, and their offense is starting, and they want to get the offensive ball again this half.
In the event you might not have heard, up at Shea Stadium in New York, the Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets 31-27 in some thriller. Timeouts remaining for both teams, 2 apiece. And that guy with no shirt on has got a lot of time remaining.
Dick Vermeil was upset there. He was arguing with the official. I think it was because they didn't stop the clock when they first asked for timeout.
Scott Brunner has made his visit over to the sideline to Ray Perkins. It is 2nd and 8 at the 40. 2:04 left first half. The Giants leading 20-7. That's Pittman in motion, and Brunner gives to Carpenter. Rob Carpenter bangs into the Eagle territory, and Carpenter goes out of bounds way down at the 39-yard line of Philadelphia.
Now,
wow.
Now things will change, Pat. Earlier, the Eagles were going to use their timeout, try and get the ball back. Now the Giants, after the 2-minute warning, will start to try and get the ball back. But watch Carpenter here. Again, shoulder square, head up, eyes, and look at that balance.
Hate to wear it out, but what an addition he has been.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to see the completely redesigned 1982 Celica Supra at your local Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. Allstate, we insure your home, your car, your health, your business, and your life. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by K-Care, where quality automotive parts and service are Kmart priced.
Stadium in Philadelphia, and the Giants lead the Eagles 27-7. Deep is Wally Henry. Tough first half for him. Fumble a punt, the Giants scored after that. Fumble a kickoff, the Giants scored after that. 89 Wally Henry. Joe Danilo will kick off for the Giants. It is 27-7. The New York Giants leading. To be called in some areas the New Jersey Giants. Whatever, they're ahead. The 2 is Wally Henry. Hit quickly and really popped by Mike Dennis. Wow.
Did you see him come flying through the air?
First half stats.
I'll tell you, I still say the big ones are those turnovers down there. The Eagles had two turnovers, and the other big one is the rushing. Look at that second line there. The Giants have rushed for 98 yards, 77 of it for Rob Carpenter. The Eagles only 33.
What has happened really amplifies what you've contended all year long, that turnovers are the most important stat, because the Giant turnover turned into an Eagle touchdown, their only touchdown. Here is Montgomery. Wilbert met head-on by Brian Kelly. And Lawrence Taylor over to help out and clean up. The Eagles, maybe it's because most of the year they were ahead, but they scored only 13 points in the second half over the last 5 games. They had that streak where they lost 4 in a row, and then they came back against St. Louis to win. But the second half hasn't been a good half.
they've always prided themselves on being a second half, or more specifically a fourth quarter team.
Jaworski, the quarterback, looking left, throwing left. Pass complete to Montgomery. That should be good for a first down. They say that Montgomery might be the best pass receiver in terms of catching and running patterns, and I suppose that's two pretty important ingredients on the football team.
That's always a tough decision for Dick Vermeil, because he feels that Wilbert Montgomery is his best pass receiver, so you would like to spread him out, split him out like they did, but then he's also their best runner, so you'd like to have him in the backfield.
In this case, he started out to the left and now comes out to the right and stays in the backfield, and now comes on out. He's flanked to the right. Carmichael is wide to the left. That's Trepley in motion, and here's the pitch back to Hubert Oliver. Nothing doing for Hubert. Gary Jeter right there. Lawrence Taylor also.
You know, and that's a problem. Of course, the one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to use Wilbert Montgomery as a decoy. There's Scott Bruner. He's still cool. He's staying warm on that bench. You know, that's those bench warmers that they have there. See, you stretch there, you get that heat coming into your legs, stretch your neck a little, blow a little frost out, ready to go.
Scott Bruner, a very intelligent, certainly very capable quarterback. You saw the figures a minute ago. The fact that his father was a coach and is a coach probably didn't hurt too much either. Here's Jaworski. Byron Hunt on the blitz. Pass complete to Montgomery. That'll be another Eagle first down. Lawrence Taylor out there with him, knocked him out of bounds. 16 yards. First down, Philadelphia.
We can watch Wilbert Montgomery work here. You see, he gets down in a three-point stance. He's running and out, pushes off, works back to the sideline, picks up the first down.
Lawrence Taylor. The Eagle bench. A little solemn place right now. Understandably so. At 27-7 Giants. Jaworski has the Eagles now on the move. First down. They shift. Carmichael split wide to the top of your picture. Trepley in motion. Hand off Montgomery. Wilbert will have another Philadelphia first down. Lawrence Taylor made the tackle along with Bill Courier and Brian Kelly. But another first down, Philadelphia.
I'm sure that they had a little meeting in that locker room at halftime, and they said, if we're going to do it, we have to get started right away. Let's come out of here and blow these guys off the line. We'll give it to Wilbert here. We'll throw some. We'll have mixture. But look at the strength of this Wilbert Montgomery, and it's all in his legs. I like that guy.
193 pounds at the most. Number 31, who is now flanked out wide to the right with Carmichael. This is a little bit of a different look here. They fake to Booker Russell. This is Montgomery looking for someplace to go, and Montgomery gets down to about the 36. He made a great play to make something out of that one. That didn't look like much.
He made a great play to catch the ball.
Mark Haynes made the tackle, but Montgomery was outstanding.
You know, it looked like they decided at halftime that we have to get back in this game, and if we're going to, we have to do it with this guy right here, Wilbert Montgomery. We have to run him from the backfield, spread him out, get the ball in number 31's hands.
Second down 3 at the Giant 36. Giants leading 27-7. First possession for either team, third quarter. Second down, Jaworski draw play. Oliver. Inside the 35 to about the 30, maybe 33-yard line. Lawrence Taylor on the tackle. Dick Vermeil said a very interesting thing yesterday about Lawrence Taylor, is that if you're not careful, he is so good, you wind up watching him play instead of watching the other things that are going on.
He said you watch those films and you're always just watching number 56. He also said that since he's been in the league, he's the best linebacker he's ever seen.
Short yardage, third one. Booker Russell and Oliver both. They might be close to a first down, but if they got it, it's not by much of a margin. There is Jaworski signaling they did. But again, you don't honor those signals.
No, Jaworski said he did it. That was a quarterback sneak, and he did it. You're right, Ron.
Eagles have 4 first downs already in the second half, and that's all they had in the entire first half. needless to say, they're moving it. Guy Morris, the center, up over the ball. Jaworski surveying the defense. He has Carmichael to the left and Smith to the right. Smith. Pass batted in the air and out of bounds. Courier came over, almost picked it off, but even if he had hung on, he would have been out of bounds. Mark Haynes, the defender, and a good job.
We'll see it here. He's playing man-to-man from the inside. You see on Charlie Smith, he bounces him there. He lets him go, looks back at the ball, gets up in the air. He deflects it right there, and of course, he can't get to it before it's out of bounds.
Good play. Good technique.
Yeah, it was. He took away the inside. You know, he wasn't going to let Charlie Smith get to the inside, and then he rode him up.
This is the 10th play coming up in this drive by the Eagles, the opening possession of half number 2. Jaworski has the lone set back Montgomery. Montgomery looking down the middle. Jaworski throws to Smith. That's enough for another first down at the 21. Brian Kelly, number 55, made the hit, but it's an Eagle first down.
Jaworski looks a little better now. He looks like he has a little confidence going here. We'll see the same isolate Mark Haynes. He's on Charlie Smith. You see they hit, and now they go off into a zone. Charlie Smith comes underneath the linebackers. That was Byron Hunt there, and picks up the first down.
Charlie Smith from Grambling, the 8-year pro. Jaworski 8 out of 13, 1 touchdown. That one to Carmichael. Looking better already in the second half as Kepley comes in motion and Montgomery comes behind him. Nothing doing. Byron Hunt was the first man to hit Wilbert.
Oh, there's a fight down there. It was Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor and Keith Krefley got in a fight, and I think Lawrence Taylor took a swing at Krefley, and that could be 15 big ones against the Giants.
The Eagle crowd starting to come alive now. There's Keith Krefley, the tight end.
He went both ways on that one. Let's see if we can see it here at the end. There's the official saying, no, don't do it. But see, it was Krefley. He pushed Taylor, and then Taylor got up and pushed him back, and they caught both of them, so they'll play it over again.
No harm, no foul, they say.
Well, there was some harm and some foul on both sides. They say that evens out.
Jaworski looks over to the sideline. Why do they huddle like this, John? I'm looking at the Eagles now. And that long, elongated with the quarterback over on the side.
Because he has to get the signal from the sideline.
Montgomery swings to the left. Wilbert still on his feet down to about the 14, 13 perhaps. Terry Jackson came up to make the force and the tackle.
Dick Vermeil, you know what he's thinking? He's not only thinking, of course, the obvious, we have to get the ball, we have to move it, we have to score, but we have to make that Giant defense play. They're a good defense, but to wear them down, you have to make them stay out there on the field, and they're doing it now.
The veteran Brad Van Pelt, who has suffered that groin injury and aggravated again in practice last week, hasn't played at all. His place has been taken by Byron Hunt. A lot of people wonder where he came from. There's Van Pelt. Wonder why he wasn't picked higher in the draft. The Eagles have to take a timeout, much to the displeasure of some of their fans. But getting back to the original subject, Byron Hunt in the last 2 or 3 weeks has been just superb. 27-7 Giants over the Eagles. Veterans Stadium, Pat Summerall with John Madden, 27-7. The Giants over the Eagles, 8:15 left, third quarter. The Eagle fans feeling perhaps a little bit more comfortable about things right now. A new formation for Philadelphia. Booker Russell in the game, and here's Montgomery, and he is really popped by Harry Carson as he started through what looked like a substantial opening in the beginning of the play, but Montgomery is smacked down by Carson.
That new formation really didn't fool Harry Carson, did it? That was one where they had 3 backs in the backfield. They had the regular I formation. See, and just to the right there, they had Booker Russell. They lead him in on the nose tackle like a pulling guard, and then brought Montgomery through, and he was met right there by Harry Carson. Gary Carson said, I've never seen that one before, but I know who Wilbert Montgomery is.
And they have seen each other before. They bring the chains into measure. They're shy of a first down, and it'll be fourth and about a yard, looks like. John Spagnola makes his entry into the game. Out comes Oliver. Booker Russell will stay. The Eagles have had the ball 13 plays. They've kept it 6 minutes 53 seconds. And this possession, 8:07 left third quarter. Giants 27, the Eagles 7. From behind the Giants defense.
This could be a very big one. If they don't get it, it could put everything on them.
It will be Montgomery. And he will have it. And more. Down to the 5. It'll be first and goal, Philadelphia. Brian Kelly brought him down, but Wilbert Montgomery gets the Eagles closer.
What I was trying to say there is really, had they not made that first down, it could have all been over for them. If they did the smart thing, they give it to their best football player.
And that is Wilbert Montgomery. And there can't be too much doubt about that. It'll be first and goal from the 6, 7:20. Now 7:15 left third quarter. The Giants leading by 20. Replay starts in motion left to give again to Montgomery, who breaks to the outside, breaks one tackle, touchdown Eagles. Bill Neal had a crack at him, but he broke out of his grasp and Montgomery scored.
Montgomery's legs here. Hubert Oliver leads. He has to stop there. He makes a cut to the outside. Neal misses right there, but that's because Montgomery doesn't go down easy. He's too strong. Very strong leg.
Again.
Look at that cut. That's an amazing cut, and then that's amazing running right through the tackle of a nose tackle.
That cut made Byron Hunt miss him cleanly, completely. Bill Courier is down in the end zone for the Giants, and they're checking on him at the moment. The Eagles get on that scoreboard in 15 plays. They kept the ball. They went 82 yards. It's 27-13. Score now 27-13. Tony Franklin has entered to try the extra point with John Shira holding. Bill Courier apparently just had a cramp, and he has trotted off the field under his own power. 7:02 left third quarter, and the Eagles make it 27-14. Tony Franklin the extra point. 27-14, and don't forget, speaking of extra points, that the Giants missed the extra point after their first touchdown. On New Year's Day, the Crimson Tide of Alabama under Bear Bryant, ranked number 3 in the country against the number 5 ranked Texas Longhorns. Two great schools with great football and great academic tradition as well. And of course you'll see it on CBS. New Year's Day, Lindsey Nelson will be there again. The scoring drive for the Eagles, 15 plays. They went 82 yards with it. The touchdown run, that great effort by Wilbert Montgomery. 7 minutes 58 seconds they kept the football. 27-14 the score. And Tony Franklin, who kicked the extra point with no shoe on his right foot, now puts one on for better traction.
That's right, and that shoe that he had on earlier had cleats on it. He had one artificial turf shoe and one cleat shoe.
Now it's Leon Bright, who's back deep. There's Franklin. Line drive kick, which he doesn't catch very well. Beasley Reese again feels the kickoff and gets out to about the 31 before the Eagles are down quickly, led by Ray Ellis.
Now the Giant offense comes on the field for the first time in about a half hour or 45 minutes.
First time in the second half. 6:53 left in the third quarter. And they make their initial appearance. They'll be quarterbacked again by Scott Brunner, who had a great first half. 3 touchdown passes for Brunner. 1 interception, which led to the first Eagle touchdown. 2 tight ends for the Giants. There goes Pittman in motion, and here's Brunner getting to Carpenter. Over the right side, and they charge out in good shape and get 6 yards. Or thereabout, with the whole right side of the Giant offensive line moving the Eagles backwards. Carpenter, 18 carries, 83 yards.
Did you see that pile move, though? It started off with J.T. Turner, the right guard, and Gordon King, the right tackle, and then Carpenter got in there behind and just moved that whole pile for 5 yards.
They give him 6, so make it 2nd and 4 at the 37. Giants 27, Eagles 14. Pittman again in motion. Brunner gives Carpenter, and Rob Carpenter rambles near first down yardage. Charlie Johnson hit him, but Carpenter, who had a good day last time in Veterans Stadium against the Eagles, is having another good one.
I remember when the Giants traded for Rob Carpenter, they said that they wanted this guy. They said the other reason they didn't want the Eagles to get him, who needed a fullback at the time.
The Eagles have had a tough time at that fullback spot. They're down to their 4th fullback of the year.
Couldn't they have used a Rob Carpenter?
Couldn't they, though? Couldn't anybody. 3 tight ends now. Carpenter did not quite get the first down. They need about a foot. That's about what he got. Carl Hairston on the bottom of that pile.
This is going to be another one of those spots. We talk about games of inches. Here it is.
It is. Bob Frederick signaling first down and signaling to start that clock again as you look at Ray Perkins. Pat Hodgson sending in the offensive plays to Scott Brunner. Giants out quickly, send Perkins and Pittman both to the left. Ernest Gray, I beg your pardon. Perry in the backfield with Carpenter. The give is again to Carpenter. Rob Carpenter outside the 45 to the 46. Jerry Robinson made the tackle. Hairston had a shot at him in the backfield and missed him.
There's Jerry Robinson. He's a right side linebacker. He looked like he started to work to the outside. Comes in, takes on the block, boom, moves to the outside and gets Rob Carpenter.
Carpenter got 5, though. And the Giants have the football at their own 46. And the clock continues to run. Carpenter now 21 carries, 92 yards. He continues to impress on 2nd and 5. They send Pittman in motion to the right. This is Perry. Leon stopped by Charlie Johnson after a pickup of about 3.
Look at all those guys. Now there's a group, huh?
Started, the temperature was about 35 degrees in a wet, misty rain. Now it's dropped considerably. And so have the temperatures of those people we just saw.
There's a lot of guys in these stadiums that their elevators don't go to the top.
That's true.
That's just not one stadium. That's all over, isn't it?
All the lights are not on. 3rd down. That's Carpenter again, and he barrels near a first down. It again depends on where they mark it. Leon Perry, the blocker out in front. Carpenter airborne, close to first down yardage, hit down by Jerry Robinson again.
Look at Ray Perkins there. He's trying to figure it out. He's standing right there on that marker and taking a peek.
They will measure. It looks short. The Eagles have a player injured. I think it's Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle.
That is Charlie Johnson, and it is short, and they are going to punt.
Now Dave Jennings started on the field, and now he went back to the bench, and now he comes back on, keeping his, or trying to keep his hands warm. That's the injured Eagle. That fine nose tackle. And let's see what happens here. They're measuring, and we'll see how short they might be. Jennings is on the field, and I think there's not much doubt about what you have to do in a situation like this. They failed on 4th down earlier. They were in Eagle territory then. Johnson looks okay. John Shira goes back deep for Philadelphia, and now you have to punt, I think.
I'm sure, you know, with a 27-14 lead and being at midfield, the Giants would like to back the Eagles up and make them drive the length of the field if they're going to score.
Dave Jennings, number 13, his average today 41.5. Long one was 50. He might be inclined to do some unusual things in this situation.
I think in a playoff situation, Dave Jennings first, the thing he's going to do is punt the ball like he's been told by Ray Perkins.
If he wants to continue to wear the same colors.
He likes New York or New Jersey.
And Jennings roots it to the right. Shira lets it bounce. Giants down there in good shape, and Beasley Reese will down it at the 2. Beasley got down there quickly. 48-yard punt by Jennings, down by Reese at the 2-yard line, and the Eagles will have a long way to go again. Pat Summerall with John Madden, 3rd quarter, Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. The Eagles in their own end zone huddling and now break out of it. The Giants lead 27-14, 2:58 left, 3rd quarter. Ron Jaworski, the quarterback. Oliver and Montgomery, the runners, Crepfley in motion. Hand off Montgomery to the 6. Bill Neal on the bottom of that pile.
This guy here, you know, they talk about Lawrence Taylor, the linebackers have been great, but watch Bill Neal there, the nose tackle. He has to handle that center. If he doesn't get moved backwards like he does there, the Eagles aren't going to run the ball. No one will run the ball, and he's really done an outstanding job for this Giant defense.
He really has. One of many from last year's great University of Pittsburgh team. 2nd, 7. Hand off Oliver, not much. Taylor on the bottom of the pile.
You see that stance that Bill Neal had? You know, he's 6'4". He has to get down low like that.
He seems to have that ability like Taylor does to keep people from getting to his body. Philadelphia first half 74 yards. Second half the touchdown drive that took them 82 yards. Right now it's 3rd and 4 at their own 9. Booker Russell and Hubert Oliver and Wilbert Montgomery in the backfield. Pitch back Montgomery. He's the guy you want to have it. And Montgomery barrels out for the 1st down. They may have to measure, but it looks like he got it. Harry Carson made the hit.
I think we don't have one there, but it seems like we've had more 3rd down measurements than I can ever remember.
Booker Russell comes out. Nola goes in, and they'll operate with 2 tight ends. That's time remaining 3rd quarter. The score again, the Giants 27, the Eagles 14. Giants broke on top in a hurry, but they missed the point after their first touchdown. That's why we're 27. Here's Jaworski looking, throwing, has Crepfley. That'll be another Eagle 1st down. Crepfley outside the 30. Mark Haynes made the tackle. Jaworski did a good job.
He did a good job, and he had to do a good job there because they had to get that ball out. Now once they start here, he fakes to Wilbert Montgomery, has a little half roll. He feels the pressure of Jeter coming from behind, finds Crepfley out there, gets him the ball for the big 1st down. Now watch Lawrence Taylor come in here. He gets in a little action at the end of it. Well, guess we don't.
Haynes and Carson took Crepfley down. Keith Crepfley spent some time in the World Football League. Had a busy day today. Jaworski up quickly under center. Crepfley in motion again. 1st down Philadelphia. Hand off. Hubert Oliver straight ahead, and he gets good yardage. About 5. George Martin on the bottom of the pile, and that'll take care of the 3rd quarter. And the score at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where it's wet and damp and almost miserable, but a good football game. The Giants 27, Philadelphia 14.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda. Adding a new Accord to this year's starting lineup. Honda, we make it simple. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Atari Home Video Games.
One more quarter to go at least. And the Giants leading Philadelphia 27-14. The Eagles have the ball. Line of scrimmage their own 36. And off Montgomery. He shuffles around, looks for some yards straight ahead. Harry Carson is there to greet him and meet him. The Eagles have had a tough time in the fourth quarter, scoring any points, really. And the folks who played against them have had some rewarding times. 36-zip in the fourth quarter over the last 5 games.
I'm sure they want to forget that one.
And the sellout crowd of 70,000 plus would also like to help them forget it. Here's Montgomery. It was 3rd and 3, and he didn't get the first. Bill Neal again came out to make the hit. Montgomery, who had some rather analytical remarks about the Giants defense over the course of the last week. Looked like he might have been shaken a little bit after that hit by Neal. On 4th down, they send in Max Runniger.
Wilbert Montgomery really takes a lot of hits because he's not a real good avoid runner. He doesn't. I mean, he breaks tackles, runs through things, and as a result, he gets hit much more than some of them.
Leon Bright standing back at his own 15-yard line for the Giants. Runniger back for the Eagles, and look out, they snap it sometime. With the up man, Runniger stands, holds, and now gets off a fine punt. Right. Fumble. Right bobbled. And the Giants in jubilation say they got it back, and indeed they did. A 50-yard punt by Runniger.
They did get it back, Pat, but there will also be a penalty against the Eagles. What happens, see, when Max Runniger holds the ball so long, his interior line leaves before the ball was kicked. And that's a problem with that type of thing. Holding it lets them get down, but the interior line can't leave until the ball's kicked, and they left early.
Haynes was back there with Leon Bright, and he made the recovery after Bright left it on the ground. Bob Frederick. He could appear at Carnegie Hall sometime with his voice.
Great voice. Listen to Bob tell us now.
Number 57, the offensive kicking team, inelligibly downfield. 4th down.
Now watch the guys who were ineligibly downfield. You see now the only 2 guys that can leave are the 2 outside ends. You see they leave now. Okay, that's okay. Now this group, all the green jerseys can't leave until the ball's kicked. And we see them right at the ends of the screen start to leave.
So Runniger will have to do it all again, and Bright is back there with some help this time from a couple of friends. Runniger, not as good a kick. That is Beasley Reese who handles it this time at his own 26. And finally shoves his head down at the 31. 43-yard punt that time by Max Runniger, an 8-yard return by Beasley Reese. Calvin Murray was down for the coverage. Score remains. At Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Giants 27, the Eagles 14, 13-12 left to play. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Shirk on the right, Mullity on the left. Here's Carpenter. And Carpenter makes a good move as he nears 100 yards on the day.
He did make a nice move. The right side of the Eagles defense got penetration. Carpenter was trying to go outside. He couldn't, so he cut back to the inside.
4 yards they get him. There's Beasley Reese, who was shaken up after that last punt return a bit. but he seems to be well, he's limping pretty good, doesn't he?
Seems to be hurting.
Yeah, he does. He's heading for the hot bench. Mulvey this time swings in motion. The pitch back to Carpenter. And Rob cuts back for a couple. It'll be a big third down play coming up as Frank LeMaster was the first man there for the Eagles. 24 carries, 98 yards for Rob Carpenter.
Frank LeMaster's had a big year too. He's been selected for the Pro Bowl this year, and they said that this was one of the best years. It's his 8th year, and he's having his best year.
The Eagles standing on defense now. The Giants hoping for a first down. 3rd and 4 at the 38. They send in their pass receiving units, and Bruner goes back into the shotgun formation. That was adequate. Carpenter has it, and Carpenter will have the first down. Bruner rifled it out in good shape. Gary Robinson popped Carpenter out of bounds, but first down, Jim Clack.
I don't think he had the first down, Pat. I think that the marker, when he had to pull it down, he brought it back, and he looked like he had a first down.
You're right. You're right. When they had to dodge Carpenter coming out of bounds, Robinson got him before he got to the marker, and Jim Clack just limped off the field. John Shira standing back deep for Philadelphia now, and Dave Jennings in punt formation for the Giants. John out to about the 18-yard line. We'll be back with more of the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles, where the score is 27-14 after this word from your local station. Situation is this. The Giants lead 27-14, 11-27 left in the football game. The Eagles have the ball at their own 19, 1st and 10, Montgomery. Hubert Oliver, sorry. Stopped by Byron Hunt. There is Jim Clack over on the sideline with the long underwear and
bandages and braces and everything he has on those knees. You know, Jim Clack has always had problems with knees, and that was one of the reasons that he retired this year. And then, of course, he came back after Ernie Hughes was injured.
That's the trainer, John DeSiegel, putting a little hot sauce on his knee.
That looks like a linebacker.
Here's Jaworski, and he is batted down by Gary Jeter and hit down hard. Lawrence Taylor went flying by, and Jeter took him down.
That's one that Jeter will get the credit for, but watch what happens here. You see Jaworski steps back. Now watch Taylor come right there, and he had a step, bring the ball down, and there was Gary Jeter.
Hubert Oliver shaken up on that play.
Right there, we'll see him. He misses Lawrence Taylor there. They're double teaming Lawrence Taylor. Taylor knocked Ron Baker right into Jaworski. Jaworski brought the ball down, and there was Gary Jeter.
So for the Eagles, 3rd down, 12, back at their own 17. The 3rd sack of the day by the Giants. Calvin Murray has gone into the lineup for Philadelphia. In the meantime, Carmichael and Charlie Smith come out to the left, and Jaworski will operate from the shotgun. Rain is stopped, by the way. So the ball has become more manageable. Here comes the rush on Jaworski, and the throw down the middle, almost picked off by Brian Kelly. And Jaworski really had no chance. The coverage was excellent. Ron Smith, the intended receiver, but Jaworski with nothing doing.
I tell you, those Giant linebackers, we see Kelly back there, and Taylor back there, and Carson back there, Hunt back there, big interception last week. They've really added to that pass defense.
Max Runiger counting and seeing if he has the correct number of people on the field, and Leon Bright, number 45, back deep for the Giants, standing at his own 40. Some of the people starting to depart. Runiger very nearly has it blocked. This is Bright at the 42, and Bright gets around to the outside, slips one tackle. At midfield, the Giants will operate. Ray Ellis made the tackle after a 41-yard punt by Runiger, an 8-yard return by Leon Bright. The wild card game right now looks like it's shaken in the Giants' direction. That's Ernest Gray in motion, and Rob Carpenter bangs down inside Eagle territory to the 35, and he goes well over 100 yards now. Carpenter, 25 carries, 113 yards, and some of the crowd in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia is getting restless enough to head for the parking lot.
You know, a lot of the credit for Rob Carpenter's running, of course, goes to him, but that offensive line of these Giants have really improved the last month of this season. You know, Jeff Weston, Bill Ard, a rookie, Jim Platt coming back, J.T. Turner, Gordon King has been playing as well as he's ever played.
They haven't had a back like him since Ron Johnson. First down, Giants, Carpenter again. And Carpenter rips down to about the 22-yard line. Another Giant first down. Al Chesley finally made the tackle, but the Giants are talking about travel plans to San Francisco right now.
They sure are. Now, watch this line block. The guards fire out. The center gets a standoff. Carpenter makes a nice move. It looks like the Giants have worn down the Eagle defense now.
The league's leading defense, and there are the Eagle coaches sitting right next to us. And you can tell from the mood of that scene what the score must be. 27-14, Giants leading. First down with the Eagle, 22, Carpenter again. And Carpenter this time shrugs his shoulders for about a yard. Charlie Johnson made the stop, but the clock is probably just as important right now as any Giant player.
I'm sure that that's what the Giants are thinking. That's what Ray Perkins thinking. The Giant fans are thinking. The most important thing for them now is that clock to keep ticking. Ray Perkins may even smile, Pat.
Somebody gave him that for Christmas. Tom Landry's smile. Second down, 8. Hand off Carpenter, and Carpenter gets down to about the 17-yard line. Scott Bruner, the quarterback, looking over to the sideline for information and advice and help. The other sideline, there is no help.
You know, there's a lot of people watching this game with a lot of interest, but probably the San Francisco 49ers have more interest than anyone else. And Bill Walsh last week said that he would rather play the Eagles than the Giants. He said he'd rather play a team that he hadn't played yet.
And of course the Giants and 49ers played in regular season. The 49ers won. Timeout, Giants. 6:55 left to play in this contest, the NFC Wildcard game. And the Giants leading the Eagles by the score of 27-14. Rushing, Rob Carpenter today, 28 carries, 131 yards. He has outgained the entire Philadelphia team. Third down, 5 from the 17.
There's a square-built guy.
Yep. Swings in motion to the right, and here is Carpenter again. Down inside the 15 to about the 16. Carl Hairston on the bottom. Greg Brown there with him. Rob Carpenter has put together this act today, and the Giants have, against the Philadelphia defense that leads the entire NFL. Hairston is still down. Could be.
The Giants will. They're your Giants. I remember 2 months ago when Brett Musburn was saying, Pat, you're Giants.
Yeah, I remember. It's been a long, long time. Hairston is still down, and they'll administer what needs to be done to him. Danilo is on the scene at the moment. Well, Hairston heads off. He appears to be not in serious ways. Number 78 heading for the sideline. It's 27-14, 6.5 minutes left to play. Number 78 is over to rest. Joe Danello with Scott Brunner holding from 32 yards away. It is 27-14, and this could just about ice it. Not good. No good from Danello.
Joe Danello has something to say to Scott Brunner there. Let's just watch it. Well, it starts out good, doesn't it? It goes right outside.
And a couple of tough weeks for Joe, too. Although he kicked the clutch field goal in overtime last week to get the Giants into the playoffs. He had a tough time earlier in that contest. There's Jaworski outside, runs Smith. And Terry Jackson is right there quickly along with Lawrence Taylor. He got a few yards, but not many. And now you got to think about, let's get something on the board quickly if you're Philadelphia.
That's right. They have to think in terms of 2 scores, so they have to get the one and then be able to get the ball back again.
Next Saturday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be at Dallas, and the winner of this one will be at San Francisco late on Sunday. Here's Jaworski. Good protection this time. Jaworski has run Smith down the middle. First down Philadelphia. He lays it on the ground and gets back to the huddle quickly. Out at the 42-yard line, Larry Flowers made the stop.
You know, it's an interesting matchup there, Pat. Ron Smith is going against Terry Jackson, and they were college teammates at San Diego State. I think that, I don't know, is that interesting or not?
Yeah, they know each other.
They know each other's moves.
This time Montgomery comes out to the left with Carmichael. Jaworski has one lone setback, and he'll throw quickly, and does. Pass complete again to Smith. Smith in Giant territory at the 48, and again they hustle back into the huddle quickly.
Ron Smith is the only guy that's really hustling back to the huddle quickly. It looks like he's expecting a fast type of offense, and everyone else isn't. Here comes Lawrence Taylor on another blitz. He hits Jaworski right after he throws it. He says, I didn't do it. Jaworski says, hey, he hit me.
Eagles second down 3 at their own 40, at the Giant 49. Sorry. Clock still running. Here's Jaworski back to throw, and does. He'll have a first down. This time it's Booker Russell. Well, maybe not quite a first down. Yes, it is. Yes, it will be. Harry Carson made the hit on Russell.
Oh, Giant fan, don't start celebrating yet. Eagles are still working on this one.
The Eagles have 2 timeouts left, and so do the Giants, but the clock still runs. Jaworski's had a good day. Giants have a blitz going. Jaworski throws. Pass incomplete. Jackson very nearly the interception intended for Wilbert Montgomery.
There's another guy has been having a fine season, and that's Terry Jackson.
He really has.
Let's watch Wilbert Montgomery out there. See, he's out there in his 3-point stance. He's going to come here running in. Starts to the inside. Jackson had great position. Had that ball been thrown a little higher, he may have had an interception.
Terry, in the last half of the year particularly, deserved to be named to the All-Pro team. He's really played well. Booker Russell, a lone setback. There comes Taylor blitzing. Jaworski gets it away. Intended for Ron Smith, who is waffled by Larry Flowers, and a penalty marker goes down. They're going to call that for hitting in the head.
Flowers isn't sure what he did wrong. He was going for the ball, and as you say, if they did hit him in the head, that, of course, is illegal. Let's see what they have.
Personal foul, number 37 on the defense. After the pass was incomplete, there was a blow to the head by number 37 of the opponent.
You were right, the blow to the head. You know, in the last 2 or 3 years, they've really clamped down on this type of thing, and I think it's a great rule. See, now the ball is over his head. He can't catch it. Ron Smith. Now watch, Flowers comes in and just gave him an elbow right in the face.
That will be a first down for Philadelphia at the Giant 30. Other things went on that play, too.
Watch here, Lawrence Taylor again. He just bumped Jaworski from behind, and the people are saying, stay off our quarterback. Jaworski's getting physical.
Yeah. He wants him to stay off. Here's Jaworski, a low snap. He picks it up cleanly, throws. And again, the hit. No, not intercepted it anyway. Penalty marker is down. Mark Haynes made the hit, and the penalty marker is down. The Eagles will have another first down.
Well, I'll tell you, this thing is getting exciting now. It seems like we're getting penalties, we're getting fights on plays, completions, interceptions. We have everything going now.
And here's Bob Frederick.
With deep voice.
Defensive pass interference. That's caught. First down.
Watch this, Mark Haynes really just gets there too soon. A low snap, Jaworski gets up. We'll see the ball here. Now watch, Haynes gets there and makes contact before the ball, way before the ball got there.
Pass intended for Charlie Smith. First down, Eagles, 3:16 left to play. First and 10 at the Giant 21. Giants 27, Eagles 14. But the Eagles at the door. Crowd so loud that Smith can hardly hear. He looks back into the secondary. Here comes the blitz. A big one. And Jaworski just fires in the direction of Ron Smith to get away from that blitz and stop the clock and let it go. Mike Dennis is back there with him.
Of course, that was good coverage by Mike Dennis. They had an all-out blitz on that one, and Mike Dennis was man-to-man, and he had good coverage on it.
Here comes Taylor.
I'm telling you, he's fighting and scrapping. Jaworski said, I've seen enough of number 56 today.
A lot of people have, unless you're a Giant fan. Like Jared Jeter said, I've watched Superman 1, I saw Superman 2, and now I'm playing next to Superman. Lawrence Taylor. Jaworski in the shotgun. Again, a low snap. This one he handles. Throws incomplete. Intended for Smith, and Smith comes up lame, it looks like, and comes out of the game. Larry Flowers again on the coverage. Smith trots over to the sideline. Wally Henry goes into the contest in place of Smith. I didn't see him get hit.
No, he was limping on the play before. I think whatever happened to Charlie Smith happened not this last play, but the play before.
There he is. Jaworski, 13 out of 23. 1 touchdown. Has missed his last 4 shots. But there have been penalty calls on 2 of those. Giants again faking blitz, and Jaworski out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Looks, throws, got a man open. It's Carmichael. Almost incomplete. Carmichael almost came up with a spectacular catch. Larry Flowers on the coverage, and Carmichael couldn't come up with it.
Carmichael was being held up on the line of scrimmage. He did a good job of getting away. We see he had good pass protection. Now watch the ball here at the end. He really has the coverage beaten. He just stretches out and can't hold on to it. So now they have to do it again on 4th down.
If he had held that one, this could have gone on for a long time. It is 27-14. 3:01 left to play in the contest, and for the Eagles, this could be the biggest play of the year of '81. Jaworski in the shotgun. Giants not showing blitz at the moment, but now here they come. Jaworski throws high, incomplete. Penalty marker down again. Mike Dennis Dennis was back there, but a penalty flag is down. Ron Smith, the intended receiver. Penalty marker down.
Jaworski just threw that one up in the air. It was a blitz. He had to get rid of it. He really didn't cut.
Next hit pass interference. Number 46. The act took place in the end zone. It'll be a first down and goal on the 1-yard line.
First and goal, Eagles at the 1.
What a big play for the Eagles and a real tough break for the Giants. See, Jaworski, it was a blitz. He just got it up there against man-to-man coverage. Now they said to Mike Dennis, it happens in the end zone. Where did it happen?
They said he got him with his right arm. Here is Montgomery, touchdown Philadelphia. It's not over yet. 2:51 left on the scoreboard clock. Montgomery fires the ball into the stands.
Those fans are fighting for the ball. That guy's driving in there.
Tony Franklin onto the field. Excuse me, John.
Perkins is saying, geez, we had this thing, and these are slipping away.
3 penalties. Got him down in range to score that touchdown, and here's the ever-important extra point by Tony Franklin. Shira holding. It's good. It might have bounced off the upright and bounced in good, but nevertheless, it is good. And it's 27 for the Giants and 21 for Philadelphia, and do not leave, please. Here's that extra point by Tony Franklin. Watch. That may be only worth a half a point.
Well, the Giants are expecting an onside kick here, Pat. They have 10 men up in front, just one return man.
Franklin goes barefooted, kicks it away from Leon Bright, and kicks it out of bounds, and they'll have to do it again. Even if they move it back to the 30, which they will because Franklin got it out of bounds, it's still, if it's an onside kick, only has to go 10 yards. I doubt now that they try it, though.
Now, I'm sure with 2 minutes and 46 seconds, the Eagles only have 2 timeouts, though. Remember, they used one in the third quarter, but they'll kick the ball away, play defense, and then try and get it back again. You know, on that last drive of the Eagles, 44 of those yards came in penalties.
There were 3 penalties. Tonight on CBS starts off with 60 Minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's Place, One Day at a Time, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John, M.D. Right now, it may seem like 60 minutes, but there are 2:46 left in this game. This time Franklin lines it. And out to about the 30-yard line. The Giants will start to operate from there. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. 27-21, the Giants over Philadelphia. Scott Brunner has thrown 3 touchdown passes. The Giants early in the game took advantage of Philadelphia turnovers and led 20-0. First quarter, player injured. And I'm still not sure it's a Philadelphia Eagle player, but I'm not sure who it is. 2:37 remaining at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The NFC Wildcard game, the Giants, the Eagles, the 3rd meeting of the year. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited.
This game must be close to getting over, Pat, because the horses are coming on the field.
There have been some horses out there all day long. One of them named Carpenter.
And there he is right there, and he's thinking they only have a couple more minutes to work. Let's finish this thing off.
Don't forget next week at Texas Stadium, the surprising and perhaps underestimated Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Dallas Cowboys. That's Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Time. Of course on CBS. And then Sunday, Coach Madden and I will be in San Francisco for either the Eagles or the Giants against another very surprising outfit, the San Francisco 49ers.
The 49ers are probably out there watching and thinking, who do we have to go to work on now? Do we start preparing for the Giants or the Eagles?
The 49ers and those who won championships, of course, had today off. In the NFC, that would be Dallas and Tampa and the 49ers. And these two, the Eagles and the Giants, both from the NFC's Eastern Division, which has turned out to be one heck of a division, playing for the right to go to Candlestick Park. There is Dick Vermeil talking with his quarterback, Ron Jaworski. JoJo Heath, I've been informed, is the injured Eagle who has excelled throughout the year on the special teams. And look at the Eagle group over on the sideline. 2:37 left, don't forget, and 2 timeouts left.
You know, whatever that injury was to JoJo Heath, it happened immediately, because the minute that he gets hit, that official waved for the Eagle trainer. Now watch him. He gets hit. It looked like he just got hit in the head there, but the official waved to the sideline right now.
Maybe we can see it now, John.
It's on the right of our screen, right there. You see he comes in and makes contact with his helmet first, and he got it right then and went back off, and they're taking him off on a stretcher now.
There's Lucius Jackson, who brought the kickback for the Giants, number 21. And there's JoJo Heath. Beasley Reese got all the equipment. Beasley's had an outstanding year. Sort of the solidifying element in that Giants secondary. Started off his career as a wide receiver with the Dallas Cowboys.
It was nice to see him wink and say that he's okay, because, you know, the Giants have been waiting so long for this. And of course Beasley Reese is thinking that. Remember last week he said they're going to hit anything that wiggles.
There's JoJo Heath in the middle of that stretcher-bearing crew. Again, there are 2 minutes 37 seconds left to play. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Giants. The Eagles have 2 timeouts, and so do the Giants. We'll find out as quickly as we can what the problem will be with JoJo. 27-21 Giants over Philadelphia. Are out in front 20-0 at one time. The Eagles maintained a lot of poise, have come back. Nevertheless, it's 27-21. And that extra point looms even larger. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Mulledy on the left side, Shirk on the right. That's Pittman in motion to give to Carpenter. And Robb lowers his head and picks up, pulls his way for about 4. Randy Logan came up to make the stop. And again, the officials stop it. 30 carries, 138 yards for Rob Carpenter. Timeout, Philadelphia. Ray Perkins looking on with Pat Hodgson behind him, who signals in the offensive plays. You see Beasley Reese back there on crutches with Perkins. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's the Giants 27, the Eagles 21, 2nd and 5. Giants have the football. Bruner to Carpenter, and Carpenter lunges about a yard short of a first down before Randy Logan again comes up from his safety spot and is on the bottom of the pile. It'll be 3rd and short.
The Eagles won't call a timeout here because they only have one remaining. They'll let the ball run down to 2 minutes and then hope that they stop them on this third down, then have the ball and one timeout left.
It is hard to say which might be the biggest play of any year, but here's one for that Eagle defense right now. Third and about a foot, it looks like, and we'll get that 2-minute warning right now. So the clock will stop. The Eagles have one timeout remaining. Bruner goes over to talk to Ray Perkins. And that's the situation pretty much as it is right now. Don't forget the Cotton Bowl coming your way on New Year's Day on CBS. Bear Bryant's Alabama Crimson Tide, ranked number 3 in the country, hoping to go higher when it's all over, against the Texas Longhorns of Freddie Akers, ranked number 5 and also hoping to go higher. Speaking of going higher, Scott Bruner's 6'5" already.
And he's quite a bit higher than Ray Perkins, isn't he? Yeah, Ray Perkins has really done a great job with this team.
Indeed, he has.
Really, they talk about the people that have done coaching jobs, and here's the guy who's really made something happen. He and George Young, they came in and they're building something here.
Why do you think, with Perkins being a wide receiver, and before he came to the Giants being an offensive coordinator, has it been the defense that's excelled so much?
Because of Lawrence Taylor.
That's a pretty good reason. Pittman goes in motion left. You expect Carpenter to get the football, don't you? And he gets the first down, and the Giants keep it.
I'll tell you, now that was a big, big play, because really, for all intent and purposes, this can finish the game. And we see it here. If the Eagles had been able to stop him, they could get the ball back. But now Rob Carpenter see how his shoulders are always square, heads up, good balance. He gets the first down. Hold on to that ball, no fumbles. The Eagles only have one more timeout.
32 carries, 147 yards for Rob Carpenter.
Well, I'll say another thing, that right side of the Giants offensive line has done an outstanding job blocking.
That would be Gordon King and company on that side. Here is Carpenter again. And Rob Carpenter rips through that Eagles secondary and rips for another first down. Randy Logan had to make the tackle, but Carpenter putting on some exhibition. 33 carries now, 161 yards for Rob Carpenter.
Well, this is the time that the Eagles have called timeout, which means their last timeout. The Giants have a first down, and what they can do is they can start celebrating now, but not too soon. All they have to do is drop on the ball.
161 yards, the most yards rushing against Philadelphia this year. I'm not sure, but that Rob Carpenter is approaching a team record for the Giants. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS, Charles Milton III. Terry O'Neill produced this game so capably again. Directed by Tony Verna. The associate producer, Joan Vetrano. Thank you, Joan. Stan Birchnall and all the rest of you. We are very grateful.
We know you there, Tony.
The Giants have the first down. Bruner will sit on it. Clock is showing less than a minute to play now. It's 27-21. Giants leading. The Jets lost earlier today to Buffalo, but that's not going to happen here.
And the Giants sideline is going crazy, Pat. Look at those players over there. They're jumping up and down, congratulating each other. Smiling. They know they've waited. They've waited for this. They know what it is.
18 years since the playoffs. At least half of the Big Apple is going to be happy.
Ray Perkins still may smile. He asked me the other day in that interview we did, he said, did I smile? I said, no, but you may have one Sunday night.
Well, he might indeed. Make your travel plans to San Francisco, because that's where the Giants will play next week. It's been a long time coming. Brad Van Pelt, who didn't play, but who's been around 9 years and never in the playoffs, now he is. And now they advance against the 49ers. Dick Vermeil departing, shaking hands with Giant players, and up in the tunnel It's a happy place, and that ride back to New York on the bus tonight. Wow, it's going to be fun and short. And again, to correct what we said a minute ago, although we just said it correctly, the director today, Tony Vernon. And thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tony.
Right now, I'd like to say so long for John Madden, and let's send you down to Brent Musburger, who's down on the sideline.
Thank you so much, Pat and John. Excellent job. And I'll tell you, one of the unsung heroes on this New York Giant team, Hunter Dave Jennings. And Dave, you've lived through the good and the bad, and how do you feel now?
Well, Brent, we've lived through mostly bad my 8 years here, but it was all worth it because we've won this wild card game against a very tough team. Philadelphia, we've battled them for years. We hadn't beaten them since 1975. Now we got 2 in a row, and it's just a great thrill for all of us.
How about the 49ers? They're next for the Giants.
Oh, boy, that's a week away. They beat us once, and we just want another chance to go out and play them. They're a great football team with a great coach, and it's a terrible place to play. They know it, we know it, but we're just looking forward. We're happy about today.
Congratulations, Dave Jennings.
Brent.
Great job by the Giants. And the NFL today continues on CBS in just a moment. Back in Philadelphia, and I believe this is one of the earliest times that both teams that went to the Super Bowl a year ago have been eliminated. The Oakland Raiders, of course, the winners down in New Orleans, did not even make it to the tournament this year. And now the Philadelphia Eagles, who beat Dallas to wrap up the NFC last year, they have been eliminated by the New York Giants. We are down now to 8 teams. And one of the reasons why the New York Giants are one of those 8 teams is right here, quarterback Scott Brunner. Scott, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It was a great win, boy.
Now, you came away with 3 touchdown passes in the game. In the early going, Scott, because we look at you as a youngster, were you nervous as you squared off against that defense? Tell me your reaction to the game.
Oh, I was definitely concerned, but boy, I had some great protection back there, and I didn't get pressured much all day, and you know, we hit those first couple passes, and that did a lot for my confidence.
Pat and John Madden both raved about Rob Carpenter. What has he meant to the Giants since his arrival from Houston?
Oh, he's been the whole difference in this ball club. You know, now we got a running attack that people have to respect, and he's the reason for it. Our offensive line has been playing a lot better. I think he's inspired the whole team.
Scott, I want to take a look at the first touchdown for you. It came after the recovery of a fumbled punt. Here it is.
There it is. We just had Leon Bright going out on a wide pattern, and he was one-on-one with the linebacker, and he beat him clean.
Seemed like Robinson got a bit lost on that play. It was a third down. Was that the first receiver in the pattern? Did you look anyplace else?
Yeah, that's where we were planning on going. We had 2 people coming inside, and Robinson got caught up in the traffic, and we hit Leon.
I was terribly impressed with your second drive. You marched right down the throat of one of the best defenses in the league, and then you came up with this touchdown.
Yeah, this was Missler did a super job. We hit him on the first drive, but we had a penalty, so we just thought we'd call it again, and he did a great job. And Roy Nell Young, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, got underneath him, and I just put it in there for him.
All right, Scott, the San Francisco 49ers are next.
They sure are. They're a tough team. You know, we were out there once this year and came away empty, but we've been playing good ball the last few weeks, and we're looking forward to it.
Real nice job.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Scott. Okay. And the NFL today will continue on CBS as we tell you about what's ahead. Because next week on Saturday, we will be down in Dallas for the showdown between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who wrapped up the Central Division by going into Detroit and beating the Lions at home for the first and only time this season. That will be on Sunday, the Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, we should also tell you the final 4 teams left in the AFC, of course. Miami will play San Diego, and the Buffalo Bills, who beat the Jets, will be down in Cincinnati. For all of us here in Philadelphia, so long, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS. We'll see you next Saturday.
You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League. This is CBS.